Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this bulletin, Bank of Ghana moves to leverage improved lending conditions in the financial sector to accelerate regulatory reforms aimed at promoting digital innovation and expanding financial inclusion.
To the ecosystem, we are being intentional from moving from access to financial health, meaning that same access that you have for a number of services.
We have more from the Ecobank-JoyBusiness Financial Dialogue series. Also in this bulletin, Ghana Statistical Service pegs the country's unemployment rate at 12.8%, with the youth commanding majority of persons still struggling to find jobs. Plus, Ghana's power sector reforms target financial stability as government takes steps to clear debts owed independent power producers.
When it comes to, there has been a lot of improvement, especially when it comes to the financial side of the sector. We know not now the energy sector in terms of costs. We've always had a lesser recovery for our costs.
We have details of these and more for you. Please stay. Thanks very much for your time. I am Pius Kojobaka. Bank of Ghana says improving lending conditions in the financial sector have created an opportunity to accelerate regulatory reforms aimed at promoting digital innovation and expanding financial inclusion across the country. The central bank believes that as access to credit continues to improve, Ghana's regulatory framework must evolve to accommodate emerging technologies and new digital financial services while safeguarding financial stability. More in this report.
The Ecobank-JoyBusiness Financial Dialogue series was held under the theme Unlocking Access, Empowering Communities, Transforming Economies, Driving Financial Inclusion through Digital Transformation. According to the Bank of Ghana, improving lending conditions are expected to enhance access to finance for households, small businesses, and entrepreneurs, particularly at a time when digital innovation is transforming the delivery of financial services in Ghana.
The number of initiatives that we're bringing to the ecosystem, we are being intentional from moving from access to financial health, meaning that same access that you have for a number of services, that is those from the middle income to the upper income, we should be able to do the same for those in the lower bracket as well. So today we are working with the industry to make sure that we open up our open banking framework, meaning to get to a point where open finance becomes the real thing, meaning every regulator will now make sure that access to data is available so that the services that every citizen needs is not skewed towards any individual service provider. So that open bank is really going to democratize access to financial services and other related services as well.
Speaking at the dialogue, Executive Director and Regional Head of Corporate and Investment Banking at Ecobank Ghana, Henry Ampon, said the bank has made deliberate investment to ensure more Ghanaians easily access banking services and participate in the formal financial system.
For decades, Ecobank has been committed to bringing banking closer to customers, not the other way around. We recognized early that the future of banking will be digital, accessible, and borderless. And we have invested consistently in innovation to make that future a reality. Today, Ecobank serves millions of customers across more than 35 African countries through one of the continent's most integrated financial services platforms. Our commitment to financial inclusion is not recent. It has been a deliberate strategic priority for many years.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of Mobile Money Limited, Shaibu Haruna, disclosed that the company is developing a more robust digital ecosystem to support businesses and deepen financial inclusion.
Bringing people into the ecosystem, and I think the numbers, the statistics have been shared this morning in terms of the inclusion statistics. But I like the discussion and where we are pivoting on, which is around how do we drive financial health or financial well-being of our people. And that's what we are driving today. And if you look at what we are building today, we are not only driving transactions, but we're actually building solutions that addresses the needs of our customers. Today, what we have built is building a platform where consumers can access pension, can access loan products, can access, you can name it, buy investment instruments. These are available. I think what we haven't done very well is to get people to use it and give us feedback to improve the experience around the usage.
The maiden Ecobank-JoyBusiness Financial Dialogue series brought together policymakers, regulators, financial institutions, fintech firms, and industry experts to explore how digital transformation can deepen financial inclusion and drive sustainable economic growth in Ghana.
Sonzele Community Bank PLC has launched an aggressive share mobilization campaign to meet the Bank of Ghana's new 5 million cedis minimum capital requirement by December 2026, while rewarding its shareholders with a massive 25.8% dividend payout for the 2025 financial year. The bank, which currently has a stated capital of 2.28 million cedis, is calling on the youth in the area to increase their investments to bridge their capital shortfall and secure the financial institution's future. Here's more from the bank's 36th annual general meeting in Jirapa.
This is Sonzele Community Bank's 36th AGM, and the mood was different. After 7 years of no dividends because of COVID-19 rules, shareholders left with cash. Board Chairman Michael Hussein announced a payout of 26 pesos per share. That's 25.8% return.
The board and board of directors appealed to the Bank of Ghana for approval to pay dividends. The board proposed for payment of 0.258 dividend per share for the year under review. That is 25% returns.
Despite tough times and falling treasury bills rates, Sonzele grew. Total assets hit 84.3 million cedis, up to 19%. But here's the problem. Bank of Ghana has new rules. All rural banks must now be called community banks and raise minimum capital from 1 million to 5 million cedis by December 2026.
Sonzele Community Bank PLC has embraced this directive and is committed to achieving full compliance within the prescribed time frame.
They are 2.7 million cedis short, so the message today was simple: buy shares. Chief Executive Officer Abdul Salam Bamir says community banks sounds bigger than rural bank and is aimed at you, the youth and diaspora. And with a 25.8% return, he's asking, where else will you get that?
The youth usually, when they say rural, they don't want to be associated with that. But the expectation is that the future is the youth and want the youth to buy more shares. And beyond buying the shares, see it as you are supporting your community, also see it as an investment. Because if you, I don't know where you put your money and get about 25.8% return just in 1 year. And your share capital that you have with the bank is still there, but we are going to pay you this dividend. So we therefore want to appeal to prospective shareholders to buy more shares. We also want to appeal to our current shareholders to buy more shares because that is the way to go.
The call drew heavyweight support. Our Power Soldier Minister Charles Wongo Pozin, himself a shareholder, says think bigger than BoG's target. One day, Sonzele could become a full commercial bank.
It is my prayer that come next year, we will all buy shares to enable the bank grow and grow bigger. Maybe one day we'll convert it from a rural bank to a proper commercial bank.
Paramount Chief of Jiriba's representative, Konko Na, said the bank's strength is the people, and DC Mayor Haruna, who was the guest of honor, linked strong banks to safer communities.
The importance of banking in the development of our economy cannot be overemphasized. It is actually the nerve and lifeline for businesses and development. It even has implications on security. Once you are not sleeping with your money, you will not be the target of armed robbers.
But the one was 10. ARB Apex Bank says missed the deadline and Sunzal faces limits, supervision, or even force measure.
This situation underscores the agency's decisive action by shareholders to support capital mobilization efforts and ensure the bank's continued participation in the community banking sector.
Sister banks are also worried. Chief Executive of Laura Area Community Bank pleaded, don't let two banks in Upper West collapse. Buy shares in all of them. For Sunzal Community Bank, the race is on. 2.28 million cedis down, 2.72 million cedis to go. 17 months left. The dividend is proof it works. The deadline is proof it must work. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Jirba.
One of our top stories, the Ghana Statistical Service expects the country's unemployment rate at 12.8%, ending last year. Details in this report.
Data released by the Statistical Service showed the youth aged between 15 to 35 years made up majority of the persons who are still struggling to find jobs. The data was contained in a statement issued by the Ghana Statistical Service as Ghana joined the rest of the world to mark World Population Day. The Statistical Service also put Ghana population rate at 33.7 million, with the youth accounting for more than 33% of the national size.
A while longer on unemployment matters, in the northern Gulf of the country, where youth unemployment peaks at 25%, a different kind of fire is spreading. At the 8th Igniting Dreams Summit, young entrepreneurs pitched their dreams for a chance at 100,000 cedis in a seed money to nurture their dreams. Rafiq Salam reports.
This is where Northern Ghana is betting on itself. The 8th Igniting Dreams Summit kicked off in Wa, bringing together chiefs, CEOs, students, and the 20 young founders competing for seed capital. The goal, turn raw hustle into jobs. Mazu Bayoni is CPI president.
We are not just facing an economic crisis, we are facing a generational crisis. But here's also what I know. I know that Northern Ghana is not only waiting to be saved, it is waiting to lead. Despite every barrier, youth-led businesses are emerging across agriculture, agri-processing, technology, fashion, and light manufacturing.
That crisis is real. Youth unemployment across the 5 northern regions sits at 25.7%. Poverty rate tops 50%.
Governance has compounded the problem. In 1993, a survey of the ethnicity of chief directors across government ministries recorded Akan representation at 11, Ewe at 3, Ga at 2, and the entire North, representing 3 regions, at the time at just 1. Today, only 28% of cabinet ministers hail from the North, yet critics still claim the region is overrepresented. This mirrors the colonial pattern: weak representation, limited political leverage, and consequently, limited investment.
But organizers say the solution won't come from Accra alone.
That the transformation of Northern Ghana will not come from Accra alone. It will not come from foreign aid alone. It will come from right here. From the ground up, from the ideas of young people who refuse to accept the story they were handed and chose instead to write a new one.
For Mausi Jisong, co-founder of Summer Life Limited, the ground is where it started. She rode a motorbike through rural roads to organize smallholder farmers, often the only woman in the room. She didn't stick to the sidelines. Today, her company has digitalized over 100,000 farmers and linked 40,000 to commercial networks.
The soil may not feed you, or you will not be able to get the best out of this land, because there's a lot in this place. I cannot, sometimes I get a bit frustrated when I see people finish and they go like, I want to do my national service in Accra. And I said, that place is already overpopulated. Can you people not see what we see here? Yes, the roads are not good. Yes, infrastructure-wise, network connectivity, trying to build a software that people have to deploy in rural communities is an impossible mission, but we've done it. We have over 100,000 farmers that we've digitized. We've connected over 40,000 of them to market.
It is a proof of what summit organizers called inclusive capital, investment that measures returns in jobs, not just profit. And the pipeline is changing. Universities are no longer just handing out degrees at your beds. That means student-led innovations like locally made mini tractors and organic wine processed from tomato surpluses, practical skills for a region that can afford to waste its harvest or its talent.
How many of us could ever imagine that wine can come out of tomatoes? And these are impacting on lives. And so I know that our universities now are turning away from these research, teaching, and things that are more theoretical to focusing on training people with entrepreneurial skills and abilities to come out with sustainable businesses.
2023 winner, Mumunamina, turned a prize into 8 tons of shea butter a month and just for 38 women.
We have the capacity to produce 8 tons of shea butter monthly, but that is not the goal. We are looking to reach a point where we can produce 20 tons of shea butter within a month.
Rafiq Salam filed that report. Let's pause for a breather. We'll be right back. Hello again, welcome back to Business Live. Government says ongoing reforms in Ghana's energy sector are aimed at improving financial sustainability, reducing costs and preventing a return to the accumulation of large outstanding debts owed independent power producers. Speaking at the 60th anniversary or meeting of the African Power Pool, Deputy Energy Minister Richard Janmenson says the sector has recorded significant improvements despite inheriting challenges, including high PP debts and system inefficiencies.
Speaking at the 60th annual meetings of the African Power Pool, Deputy Energy Minister Richard Janmenson said government renegotiation of IPP agreement has already generated savings of more than $240 million, while additional measures are being pursued to reduce costs across the sector.
When it comes to, there has been a lot of improvement, especially when it comes to the financial side of the sector. We know not now the energy sector in terms of costs. We've always had a lesser recovery for our costs. And this has left us with a huge outstanding or debt in the sector. What we are doing now is first we've done a renegotiation with the IPPs where we've made some savings. On the face of it, we have more than 240 million, but that is just for the renegotiation amount. Going forward, we've also been able to do some savings when it comes to the tariff, because there's been some reduction in tariff, which will reflect in the prices. And then going forward, we've been a bit more very active on the cash waterfall mechanisms, which is one of the reasons why we keep saying that we are not going to go back to the system where we have high outstanding debts, because we are able to pay IPPs. Now some IPPs are paid almost about 80–90%. And we are looking forward to a time where we'll be able to do 100%.
Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of the Volta River Authority, Edward Obin Kenzo, emphasized the importance of reliable and affordable electricity in supporting Ghana's economic development.
Africa must be bold in pursuing a balanced, clean energy future. Renewable energy can help expand access, improve affordability, and build resilience. While nuclear energy offers the prospect of reliable, low-carbon base load power to complement renewables, stabilizes grids, and support industrial growth. And this is where I would like, as a continent, we should also keep our focus to make sure at least we also get a clean, civil use of nuclear power. We have the resources in this country.
The remarks come as stakeholders continue to push for a more resilient and financially sustainable energy sector capable of supporting Ghana's broader economic transformation agenda.
Petrosol Platinum Energy PLC is set to become one of the latest indigenous energy companies to tap Ghana's capital market after securing regulatory approval to raise long-term capital through the Ghana Stock Exchange, marking a major milestone in its growth strategy. We have details in this report for you.
Founded in 2006 as a petroleum consulting firm, Petrosol transitioned into a fuel retailer in 2014. Today, The company operates more than 100 service stations across Ghana and employs about 490 people. Now recognized as one of Ghana's leading indigenous oil marketing companies, Petrosol is set to take a significant step in its growth journey by raising capital through listing on the Ghana Stock Exchange.
Corporate governance, and so we thankfully also had to subject ourselves under audits and verification by Ghana Stock Exchange and the Securities and Exchanges Commission. And we are glad to announce that these institutions have approved Petrosol's request to raise long-term funding on the Ghana Stock Exchange. And we kept on evolving and innovating. We migrated from just being an oil marketing company to an energy company, because we know that the industry is evolving.
Mr. Bozumbil highlights the company's values and how they align with global standards.
When we started, we were very clear in our mind. Our vision was to be a model of excellence in the global energy space. And we're very clear, because we said, Ghana is part of the globe. That thinking that, oh, because we're in Ghana, the standards must be mediocre. As if Ghana, when we look at the map of the world, Ghana is sitting somewhere. No. So though we are operating here as a company, we will operate in line with global standards. And we set out clear values, clear ethical, considerations that serve as the boundaries within which we must operate. We committed to financial discipline. We committed to regulatory compliance. So about 4 years after we started, we subjected our operations under international scrutiny. And so we received triple ISO certification for quality management system, occupational health and safety management system, and environmental management system.
The planned listing is expected to strengthen Petrosol's financial capacity, support investment in clean energy, and create new opportunities for public participation in Ghana's capital market.
Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojo Baka. I leave you with Commodities Update.